You guys, Nala and I could not go to sleep without making this video because I've been excited since last night when I heard the news that the NPC and Tyler Mannion announced in a video of adding a new division. I'm going to talk a little bit in this video. This is definitely a chatty one, so grab a snack if you want, because I'm going to talk about the criteria. We're going to review that really quickly. Discussion already happened in the bodybuilding community, my personal thoughts on this, and then who I think it may be good for. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm excited that we get to meet on this video of all videos. My name's Anissa. I am a wellness competitor in the NPC and OCB. And if you're tuning back in, I am happy to have you here as well because we get to talk a little bit more about bodybuilding outside of the gym, which I love this sport, so I could talk about it for days. So here we are. So we're going to hop over to NPC News Online, which has already the rules for this division, the criteria, the judging, everything on there. So really any competitor, you can always benefit from going to see the rules and the criteria for each division. And that way, you know, you can't control who shows up on that day. But if you want to know what you should be striving for, that is where you go. So NPC and IFBB Pro League criteria for judging fit model competitors. Condition, symmetry and balance, presentation, so you're posing, your full package, and muscularity. So there is muscularity in this division. It says here a fit model competitor should display a foundation of muscle which gives shape to the female body. However, the amount of muscle should be less than seen in bikini. This means the amount of muscle in the legs, glutes, arms, and delts should be less than currently seen in the NPC and IFBB Pro League Bikini division. So I am going to throw up a picture of Laura Lee since she has recently won the Olympia. So that sets the standard. So you will see she has quite a bit of muscle. Is she a smaller frame? Absolutely, but she still has good muscularity and muscle maturity. She's been at it for a while, so naturally as she's trained and evolved, that muscle maturity follows along with that. Full glutes with no visible tie-in area. However, the glute should be firm when doing the model walk to the back of the stage and in transitions while posing. A small amount of roundness to the delts, but not cap delts. So yes, you still want some shoulder development, but we're not seeing super cap delts in this. A core that is in shape, but not too conditioned or lean. Overall conditioning that is less than the NPC and IFBB Pro League Bikini divisions, but would be seen on a mainstream fitness magazine cover. Hair, tan, makeup, and suit should all work together to enhance the presentation. Now for the front pose, they put a picture of Ashley Kaltwasser from her 2015 bikini win in the Olympia. So one leg should be in front of the other with hips slightly tilted. This is also called the stallion pose. The back pose is the same as the bikini back pose. So that back pose, your feet should be about shoulder width apart. They are pointed straight forward. You are lifting at the hip and like tilting up the glutes so that way you can pop them out a little bit more. Key thing is really that OG bikini posing. Breaking down posing further, what they're looking for in the front pose is a balanced upper to lower body with the base of muscle. No body part should be overpowering another. One thing they say about bikini is all about the balance. You want really good body parts, but not one area overpowering another. Like you should have good glutes, but your glutes shouldn't overpower your legs, right? So there's that. Glutes should be firm when moving or walking, but there should be no visible tie-in. Now, I know you'll start to see, like, for instance, I heard Team Flex. I love watching his videos. But Coach Ryan was saying Ashley has visible tie-ins in this picture. And I think yes, but no. You can see the shape of where a tie-in would be forming, but it's not etched in. It's not as pronounced as we see now in bikini. There should be no separation seen in the hamstrings. Moving into the suit, this one broke my heart because they said no bling, and I love the bling on the suits, but suit must be one plain color. No bling is allowed on the suit. No stone, crystal, sequins, beads, anything like that. No connectors are allowed on the suit. Must have moderate coverage on bikini bottom in the front and in the back of the suit. So any of the styles that you see out, like the pro, the micro cuts, the Brazilians, even just depending on where your glutes sit on that one, or small cuts are going to be allowed, which is kind of refreshing. It's like elevated, modest, sexy. Again, I think they're sticking to that aesthetic of what you would see on like a fitness model magazine cover. They do not want to see scrunch back for the bikini bottoms, which is going to be hard because I feel like the scrunch does give a little more shape to the glutes. No ties on either side of the bikini. Competitors must be in a two-piece suit. So we're not going to what fit model looks like in some of the European leagues. And the bottoms of the suit should not be a sharp V. It should be slightly rounded. No thongs permitted. Even put a note like competitors can compete in an off-rack suit. I don't think that would be optimal, because when you get a suit from a suit maker, it can really ultimately tailor to your body. And athletes will be warned about improper suits and are advised to bring two. They do say this for most divisions. I actually bring 2 suits to my shows normally. And sometimes at check-ins, they're going to also check your suit. So I'm interested to see if that happens with this new division more. Competitors must wear high heels. Competitors may wear jewelry. At least we'll get some bling. So it looks like the judging is going to be similar to the format that we already seen. You're going to come out for your individual presentation and also be judged in comparisons. And then that way you're going to hear for the judges calling out in comparisons as well. That should be the same. Crossovers, this is a big note. They're not allowing crossovers in the same show. So you can't do fit model and do bikini in the same show. You would have to do that in separate ones. So they're saying you could opt to compete in both, and I think that could be wise if you're trying to see where you fit most based on judges' feedback, which is a wise thing to do. But I'm very happy to see it not done in the same show. Nothing irks my nerves more when I see people compete in wellness and in bikini. And you see this a lot in like the natural federations where they'll compete in wellness, bikini, and win in both of them. I'm like, those are 2 separate criteria, and I know you can tweak the posing, but it's just something that it bothers my soul. The only crossovers you can do is within the fit model division. So you can have different classes like novice, true novice, junior, masters, open. That is normal. That is usually what I do. Now I'll be able to compete in masters as well, but I usually do novice and open at shows. I could only do true novice at my very first show. And they also explain like how they plan to break down the classes. It's very standard based upon your height. That is the criteria, and I just wanted to do a dramatic reading of that. But you can, of course, see it on npcnewsonline.com. So on to the talk of the town, because honey, the post, as I was writing out the script really quick, had 1,478 comments on it, and I was a creep. I was scrolling through because I'm always curious to see what people are chatting about, and it was a mix. Some people curious. I think that was a small percentage what is this gonna look like? Other people, most of it was very positive from already established competitors. People who are like, oh, this is nostalgic to when I started competing, or this is the look that made me want to get into the sport, or I see this as a good avenue for some of the girls who don't have the muscle maturity. And then there were straight up haters. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna throw up comments on the screen at some point, but the people who are hating, I just want to kick it off there, right? They were saying that they think it's rewarding a subpar physique. They think that it's making it easier for people to become pros who couldn't already win. That's so mean. And some of these people weren't even pros themselves. And then there were some sentiments around that this could be trying to push other women's division, like figure, women's physique division, women's bodybuilding out. This is a sad sentiment because I do think there should be a category that for everyone to want to work towards, or something that they feel that they align with. And ultimately that's why I even chose wellness. I felt like it was a division I wanted to train for, I aligned to, etc. So seeing people be like, well, what's going to happen to my division, figure, or women's physique, or women's bodybuilding, that's sad. I think one thing for people who think it's rewarding a subpar physique, you got to remember, you're still going to have to train for this physique. When you look at this vision for this division, it is what bikini initially was back when it came onto the scene and was the newest women's division. Bodybuilding is an aesthetic sport. So this may be the aesthetic some people want to train towards and maintain and become more competitive in, versus seeking to improve to what bikini currently is. And I think that's just like something that if you're one of those people watching this and you're like, oh, this is like a subpar, just think about that for like 2.5 seconds, please. Also, let's be real. The girls who initially trained in bikini did actually go to the gym. These competitors, if you're going to compete in this, you're still going to have to train. You're still going to have to go on a diet for a show. You still got to come in lean enough. It's not as heavily conditioned as bikini, but you still need to get lean. And you still want to make sure that you have those complete body parts. They're saying you still want some delts. You still want to have abs. You still need to have glutes. You still need to have hamstrings, quads. The whole thing head to toe is just a different level of it compared to what bikini is now. I want us to also look objectively. There are girls who started in bikini back then and are competing in bikini now. So they've grown with the sport. You have Ashley Kaltwasser, India Paulino, Angelica Teixeira. They were placing the top then, and they actually are owning the stage still now. That's pretty cool to see. So my take on this, if you can't tell already, I'm excited. And I'm excited for a few reasons. First and foremost, I think this look is attainable naturally. Even I struggle because I know I'm lower body dominant, but bikini division is putting on more muscle. The wellness division is putting on more muscle. I would be ignorant, and I know they're adding NPC natural shows, which is the route that I plan to compete in. But if I want to cross over to a non-natural show, the use of PEDs, like, you can't escape it. Bikini's using PEDs, wellness is using PEDs. Even I'm concerned, like, will I fit in wellness anymore? Am I going to become bikini? Who knows? But back to the point, this look is attainable without PEDs. I don't think you're going to have to use things like, I have to bleep that out, to get more lean and come in leaner and harder for a show. Pretty popular one for women to use. There's a bunch of other ones, but point being is, this is a look that does not require this. Yes, you will have to adhere to a nutrition protocol, a diet. You are going to have to do some cardio for this. You are going to have to train muscle for this. But to the level that you see in our other divisions and what we know can be required to achieve that look, this wipes it out of the way. Again, for those people who are so judgmental already, let it sink in that bikini is supposed to be the entry to the sport, not requiring as much muscle, and women are still opting to use PEDs to achieve the look. Do that math real quick for me. And I know there's some people who are always going to say, well, that's the price to pay for bodybuilding, that's bodybuilding, that's bodybuilding. But it doesn't have to be that way. It just doesn't. There are some people who, like, for me, I have not had kids yet. I'm not comfortable making that decision. That's also a lifetime commitment, the financial commitment to go down that route. And I'm not saying that I never will use. I don't think I ever will, but I'm never going to say never. It's just, if I want to compete right now, where's my avenue? And there's other competitors like that. The other thing is, this look to me is so nostalgic because it was the first look I saw, and I was like, I wonder if I could do bodybuilding. This was back like in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. I really was into it back then. I didn't go for it, and that probably is my only real regret in life. But again, it's nostalgic to me. It's nostalgic to what I used to love and be interested in my early 20s. So to see this come back and hopefully light a fire in other people and give them that opportunity to compete and try it out, it makes my heart a little warm. I'm that girl. Again, as they said in the criteria, I want you to just underline, like, emphasize that this is like a baseline physique to get you into bodybuilding. And I think that is important to have that distinction and give people somewhere to start and give them these progression steps, whether that's going into bikini, going to wellness, going into figure, but somewhere to really start and get your feet wet. And because you can compete in this naturally, or if you want to just maintain this type of physique, it can give you a good longevity in the sport. I would not be opposed, and I know this is not happening, but I wouldn't be opposed for this remaining a little more of an amateur division and only at the amateur level for some time before it moves into a pro, just so it can get established. Right now, that timeline looks like it will have pro shows in 2026. But I still think it could take a little bit more time to live at the amateur level so you can really hammer out this criteria a little more and see how it develops. But again, they've pretty much done it before, so I'm just like, what could make it feel a little bit more of an entryway? And that's the only way that I would think of that being the case, if that makes sense. That brings me to also this other point. I do think it's going to take some time for this to level out. And I think the reason why I kind of want to give it time before it's a pro level is because naturally we're about to be in 2025. Social media is real and people are interested in bodybuilding. You see some of these bodybuilders with huge followings, and this will attract already established influencers with a good physique who can fit into this category. And that may be a lot to see. That was definitely also in the comments as well, like, oh, this is just going to get a bunch of influencers involved. And it's good because it will bring attention to the sport, and sometimes that's going to come with also the bad of it, with people just competing just for the sake of wanting to add some more content to their life. And that is the part of it where I'm like, But it does take more than a following to sustain in bodybuilding. You have to really want to go through this process. And even for this division, is going to be a process to go through. It is something, being able to present yourself, edit it perfectly online, etc. You can take as many takes as it takes to get the right shot, but on a stage is a different thing. You're going to go up for an individual. You need to nail that routine. You're going to be in comparisons, and comparisons can be exhausting. They really can. So I think the natural lay of the land in bodybuilding is going to weed those people out, but it will take some time. They make it through 1 to 3 shows tops, but if they're doing it for the wrong reasons, they're quickly going to go right back to what they were doing. I guarantee it. And another thing that can help this aspect of it, the judges knew they needed to focus on quality judging this past year, especially when it came to bikini and wellness and what the criteria was. So I think that same focus is going to remain with this new division, and they know they can't mess it up. We know if it becomes a mess, it's going to defeat the purpose of adding it. So I think that focus with it will keep things on the right track. At this point, you may be asking if you should consider competing in this new Fit Model Division. And here's where I think you need to filter that through. One, maybe you're already a competitor who has a good amount of muscle, but you prefer to compete with that slightly softer physique. I really think, if I'm thinking about how you would train for this, it's the bikini training, but the difference is going to be bikini, slightly less condition. And I think if you do that, you're going to nail the look. Another filter to think this decision through for yourself would be, you want to get into bodybuilding and see if it's even something that you're up for or want to do. Also, if you're lacking the muscle that it takes right now to be successful in bikini, but you already have some muscle, again, this is a great way to do this and compete. Another way you could make this decision is if you are currently a bikini competitor, maybe in a natural federation and wanting to bridge over to NPC. I definitely do see a difference in how the criteria in a lot of the natural and NPC, they'll say the same, but when I've seen them play out, even when I've competed, I feel like there are definite differences to it. So this could be a great way if you want to get out of OCB, if you want to get out of, I forgot the other ones. Oh my goodness. NGA, things like that. If you want to get out of those federations and try out NPC, this could be a great way to do that as well. Also, if maybe once upon a time you did bikini bodybuilding and you want to return to the stage, maybe that look was the one that you really wanted to continue to compete with and the sport wasn't going that division, baby, dust off those posing shoes. You're back. You are back. I could also see Fit Model being for someone who may want to downsize, like maybe you want to downsize from what Bikini currently is. Fit Model would be a great segue. You would kill it. Kill it. A low-key dream of mine, I'm just putting it out there, who knows what's going to happen, is I would love to prep someone for this particular division because of how nostalgic it feels for me. And I think it would be very fun to be able to get someone into a division that I think will be well suited for the right competitor. So I would love to do that. I would love to prep someone this upcoming year because I truly love bodybuilding. I love helping people achieve their goals. So maybe a little prayer in my heart. Next month in January, I will be attending the NPC Women's Workshop. If you're going, please say hi to me there. I do plan to get content while I'm there, hopefully train at I Religion Gym in Orlando. But most importantly, I do want to share anything I'm learning at that workshop with you all to help you compete in 2025 or just better understand the sport and learn more. That is what I love doing. I love teaching. I love helping. And here I am. Just a little girl, not a little girl, just a girl with her phone and all the things and back on YouTube in a different niche. That's me. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like it, share your thoughts about this if you have any, or questions that you may have or things that you want to learn, so I can keep that in mind when I go to the workshop. That way, whatever I put out here will be beneficial to you. And until next time, you guys, keep the faith in yourself, get ready to compete in 2025, or just work towards becoming a competitor, and I'll be here to cheer you along. Bye.